Hello again. Thanks for joining us for our Question of the Day series. Today we're going to continue looking at Jude. We're going to be in verse 3, so I just want to read it off for you to get started. Jude writes, "Dear friends, although I was eager to write to you about the salvation we share, I found it necessary to write appealing to you to contend for the faith that was delivered to the saints once for all." I want to focus today's question on that idea of contending for the faith that was delivered to the saints once and for all. And there's two things I want to point out to you about that phrase. First, I want you to notice the content of the faith. It's that which was delivered to the saints once for all. Well, what does that mean? What's that referring to? I think it's referring first and foremost to the gospel message about Jesus Christ, and then secondly to the apostolic teaching. This idea was common throughout the New Testament, and you might recall Acts 2:42, where it says that the early church devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching. It's the doctrine that defined Christians as they were getting their start really right after the death and resurrection of Jesus. The second thing I want you to notice about this phrase is that the people are commanded to do something with this faith. They're told to contend for it. And that verb has the idea of expending a lot of energy in order to win or defending vigorously against opponents. And it's born out of a sports analogy, expending a lot of energy in order to win. Well, that happens in two different ways, I think. First, the athlete's going to practice a lot so that they know how to do what it is they're supposed to do. And then when the time comes to compete, they're going to put forth a lot of energy. I think if we take that metaphor back over to the realm of faith and think about what it might mean to contend for the faith, it's going to involve studying the faith, knowing what it is that we believe so that we can defend it against false teaching. And this is, I think, extremely important. And to illustrate it, let me give you just a common illustration. You know, we're often told that when someone is taught to identify counterfeit bills, they're not told to look at fakes. Rather, they spend a lot of energy looking at and knowing what a real bill looks like. That way, when they're presented with a fake, all the abnormalities just kind of jump off the page for them. I think the same is true of our faith. We want to know what it is that we believe so well that when fakes and untruths come in, we can identify them very quickly. And so it's important to know theology. And so our questions today are based on that reality. First thing I want you to discuss is what do you do, or what could you do to learn more theology, or what it is that we believe about the faith. Secondly, I want you to think about how is it and why is it important to have a biblical worldview when navigating daily life. And by biblical worldview, I mean the ability to think through situations in a systematic biblical perspective. Why is that an important ability to have? You know, in today's day and age, we are getting fed truths from more and more avenues than ever before. And so it's important for us to know what it is we believe so that we can defend it. I hope you'll take that to heart and be encouraged by Jude's epistle to know what it is we believe.